in his career. Once again, like last week, Walsh Davis, why the hell were these guys pressing the action so fast when you got guys that are out of their comfort zone? You think you'd want to take that fight into the later stages.
This news just in. They've announced the next fight for Errol-Spence. He'll be fighting Roman Gonzalez. Again, that's a joke that probably needs setup for everybody. He's too small. It's a joke. All right, it's Guillermo Rigondeaux. You knew it was going to happen.
You know, if I'm
have to explain this every time I do it?
If I'm Lara, I would try to get Kell Brook at 154.
I think it's going to be, if Robert Guerrero wins, it's going to be Robert Guerrero next. I guarantee
Spence?
Guerrero Spence.
Nah, I don't know. It's the PBC way. I hear what you're saying.
Guerrero wins, it'll be Guerrero Spence.
I'm giving Al Heyman a little bit of what is the word? He's been bringing it in 2017, Lee. Seriously, PBC stepped up. Their fighters are all stepping up.
That's because they're going out of business.
Whatever it is,
they're all trying to make an argument that they should be picked up by another organization.
And they should. They should be. If their business is going out, yes, a lot of their fighters should not be on the sideline. Mikey Garcia should already be a star. He should already be a pay-per-view star. He was on the brink of becoming pay-per-view with Top Rank. He was knocking out all the lightweights with Top Rank. He was one of the most feared. There was guys leaving the division because of Mikey Garcia. Terrence Crawford and Garcia, a huge fight that we would have seen already if it wasn't for him going to the PBC and being baby.
Andrew, more importantly, I have a couple of questions. Just because I want to get off this topic. Because it doesn't matter. He's not going to fight for 6 months. You and I both know that.
Ooh, Spence?
Yeah.
I can't say that.
Oh. Name any PBC fighter who's gotten a title who's actually had a substantial defense of their title any earlier than 6 months. And I can make an argument that Deontay Wilder still hasn't had a real defense yet.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you, Lee, but Spence is in a league of his own right now. I don't know. I think there's bigger plans for this kid.
He's undefeated. You're going to pad that record a little bit more before you put him into the ring with somebody else who's got a big giant zero in the loss column.
I believe if he fights Danny Garcia, that is a fight that he is clearly the favorite in. Yes, there's risk because of Garcia's power, but that's about it. Physically, technically, everything plays in the favor of Spence going into that match, but yet you will have a sellout in New York. You will have 1 million views on Showtime. Spence will get more credibility for beating a fighter like Danny Garcia, who only has 1 loss on his record. Spence is the fight right now, in my opinion, for the PBC. Even if it doesn't happen this year, that should be, because I believe Thurman is not signing the fight with Spence on his first comeback fight. There's no way. He's going to take a warm-up fight. So we're not seeing that fight for at least 9 months, possibly a year from now. But Danny Garcia is ready. Spence is ready. His numbers are great. The momentum is totally on his side for taking over the welterweight division. It's all working for him right now.
I want you not to hate when it winds up being Robert Guerrero. Because I just know that one's coming down the tracks.
And let me tell you, if it is, Lee, this is the reason why you keep saying the PBC is going out of business, and you will be correct. Because I know a lot of fans that already know the Robert Guerrero story. They already seen him fight numerous times, and they are not interested anymore. So you're correct. If they put him in the ring with Robert Guerrero, that could possibly be the reason why PBC is going out of business. If they are.
Yeah. More importantly, Andrew, where do you fall on flat Earth? Is the planet flat or is it round?
I think we already discovered that one. Did you watch that video? It went viral.
I don't know. The flat Earth thing just kills me every time it shows up in my feed. If I'm looking at Twitter and there's any discussion about flat Earth, it's going to happen with me.
Yeah, or some guy that took a level onto an airplane
Oh, what a nitwit.
and like did the math and said that the because it was level the whole time that it was, meant it was a flat earth or some shit like that.
Yes, because a plane could never keep itself exactly balanced. Fucking jack off. It's a lie by NASA. There's a viral video of a guy.
You mean when we're going to China, we don't take a nosedive, Lee?
No, we don't. You know what? And we don't go through the planet, and we don't go sideways. None of that happens. We try to generally stay within pitch and yaw, I think is the correct plane term. I don't want to sound like I know, but I think it's yaw or auger. It's one of the two. It's where you keep it balanced so people don't get fucking sick.
Or roll around.
Roll over, yeah. Personally, if I'm going to sleep for the next 12 hours, yeah, I don't want you doing loops. Call me crazy. All right. Why don't you whip out some news stories now that we've spent the better part of 30 minutes talking about Errol-Spence getting ready to fight Robert Guerrero? And by the way, for everybody who listened to the show, do I think that Errol-Spence, at the 30-minute mark, 30-minute marker of the show, do I think that Errol-Spence is a bitch? No, nobody who gets into the ring is a bitch. Do I think that he's got a padded record? Yes, I absolutely believe he has a padded record. Is he still a badass stud who can hang and bang? Yes, of course he is. But we're talking about boxing. We're talking about a place where your record is the only way you're getting paid. Wow, I feel like I'm doing a Larry Merchant kind of close to this topic. And as for Kell Brooks never wanted to fight anybody. The first time he had a legitimate title, this is, in my opinion, the first real Kell Brooks title defense. Am I wrong about that?
No.
This is
because
biggest and largest and most notable title defense, right?
Yeah, he fought Sean Porter. Then you're right. He had some like obscure, I forget the guy's name, but like ranked number 8th by the IBF.
Right.
Title defense, and then he took on Spence, who was ranked number 1.
So the first time he hits the wall, he hits the wall.
Big time, yes. I didn't like the one knee, Lee. I couldn't believe he went down like that. Yeah.
He quit.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the go again. He's talking to the ref. This isn't an out of breath.
But it could still be a shot.
You want my opinion? I think he was really terrified about his eye. I think once you have that kind of damage, you're snake bit. It's like getting punched in the look. It's like getting knocked out.
Where they tell you almost went blind.
Yep. Once that light bulb rattles in your head, and you start thinking about everything you had and how much you're getting paid for that fight, I don't know if I wouldn't take a knee and go, "Yep, haters gonna hate."
and that's what I meant from the very beginning. I didn't care what category you put this defeat in. Anyone that you do, I don't want to see him again because it's either lack of heart, it's either injury prone, or it's bad luck. And all three of those, I'm never going to have Kell Brook winning another A side fight again. If he's fighting a fighter that's on the A side of the list, he's losing, in my opinion. I won't be staying home going, damn, it's Kell Brook versus Garcia tonight, or you know what I mean? It's Kell Brook Pacquiao. I wonder who's going to win. Bullshit. He folds every single time. He's quit twice. And last night, it hella looked like he quit. Just, look, I seen the body shot. People can go back and tell me if they do or they don't. I seen the body shot, but I would have gotten up for the last one. You got to stand up, go down on your shield. You don't. In this time, what that crowd needed, what that country needed, he didn't deliver. He delivered a decent fight. It was a decent fight, Lee. I won't go as far as classic.
It was entertaining.
Entertaining, exactly. And
I should say this: the final, 6 or 7 rounds, 5 rounds were entertaining.
And
no doubt about those final 5 rounds.
That's funny how me and you, how people can watch the same exact thing and have totally different opinions on what they saw. Lee, I do vice versa to what you're saying. I thought the first 6 rounds were exciting, and then it kind of went into survival mode. You just seen someone breaking down. Like I said, people, every once in a while in the last 6 or 5 rounds, he does land punches that bring 27,000 that are dying to cheer. They're dying to cheer for something out of their seats. I get that. But the overall picture, it's freaking 4-1, 5-1 on punches being landed at this point. You can see Kell Brook is breaking down. So yeah, it's totally crazy how you got two guys here watch the same exact fight yet have different opinions on what they saw. But that's boxing. That's why we have close decisions. That's why we have people always arguing about what guy won what decision. It's very opinionated, I guess, when you come down to decision making.
This just in from the editor of Ring Magazine, Douglas Fisher. You can follow him on Twitter at Dougie Fisher. Hashtag boxing has a real champion, Errol-Spence. He proved to have the character, that character with his fight performance. Now, here's the sad fact of what Doug wrote at the end. I'm prefacing, okay? I hope he fights often. Why do you have to write that?
Right. No, because that's their problem.
Because he's PBC.
Yeah, that's their problem. Oh. Lee.
This just in from the largest living landmass of ESPN boxing, Dan Rayfield. Follow him at Dan Rayfield ESPN, as if there were more than one Dan Rayfield. That was what hashtag boxing is all about. Great matchup, great promotion, excellent fight. Both guys classy afterwards. All right.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, look it. We're used to UK guys quitting, right? I think that's big over there. Maybe Dan's seen it enough times to think that was a heroic
It's a big
thing.
Look, it was a big fight in a big fight environment. That's within 30 days on top of the Ariana Grande incident. It shows a lot about England and the support of everybody. They showed up early. They showed
up. Yes, sir.
Good for them.
Yes, sir.
Hats off and kudos.
Nobody quits, Lee.
Nobody quits. Nobody. Hashtag England strong. All right. There's my support. Even though you're a bunch of weird white people who eat really bad food, who apparently don't like Ariana Grande. But hey, I'm just trying to get a little more run out of the same joke that was in bad taste earlier. Can we talk about the announcing for just a second of how they were on the jockstrap of Brook until literally he quit the fight? Am I wrong in that assessment? Like literally until he went to one knee, they were on Special K's jock.
I noticed yes, I will agree with you on that. I think they were all getting ready for the hometown decision. Maybe they were getting they didn't want to look like they were too far off the ball.
And by the way, I think Dan Rayfield had it. He said, look, I think that Brooks will get a controversial decision and win. If this thing kept going the way it was, I expected. Have you seen the scorecards from last night?
Well, yeah, they only had him up by 2 points or something going into that round.
Okay.
But it was very close. Where a lot of other people, I think Farhood had Spence winning like the last 4 or 5 rounds.
He was up by 3 or 4 rounds and said he has to do something remarkable.
Yeah.
No, he's in England, and it's Eddie Hearn's promotion. If you're in Vegas and you're fighting a top-ranked fighter and you're in a big fight against Pacquiao and it's close, I can tell you the outcome in the 6th round. If it's going to go to distance.
And Lee, you don't even have to go to Dan Rayfield. You heard that right here at Fight Net Radio about the controversial. Do not be surprised that Brook wins a decision that belongs to Spence.
Nobody respects us, Andrew.
I don't give a damn. You don't have to go to. You don't have to go to Rayfield for that. Which it was right here. That's what it was leading up to, and I'm telling you, if you watch the fight.
By the way, I'm 0 for 2 on picking fights, Andrew. What the hell's going on? I've blown my last 2 fights.
Well, you can't get them all right, Lee, or we wouldn't have day jobs.
Well, the previous fight.
Hey, look at Stephen A. Smith, who gets paid millions of dollars. He's 0 for 7 on the last 7 finals, NBA finals. 0 for 7. I've never been that bad. You've never been that bad, so we're all right, Lee. We won't. Our respect will come in due time. But 0 for 7, seriously? All right. Hope you get it right this time, buddy. Anyways.
So the other thing making rounds yesterday was the fact that Amir Khan is desperately pleading the Amir Khan case. He showed up on social media. Eddie Hearn retweeted him. Eddie Hearn wants to get him under a promotional deal. But the question is, can he get a big fight that will draw a stadium-like crowd? And it looked like they were taking him as the potential next victim had Brooks gotten through this. Now that that's out of the way.
I don't know, Lee. I don't know. Amir Khan really don't have that much momentum right now. I don't even know if